Welcome back. So this lesson we're just going to have a look at a UI again, just like I talked about earlier with the add user, just the user card, right? So we're working with the tag 15 now, and I just started out by creating a new user create component right here, and that's shown over here right now. And I just want to run over what's actually inside that component for now, and it's a rather big thing here, but not that complex, right? So first of all, I've added some kind of a creating user here. Let me try and demo what we actually do. When I click the plus button on this page, blimp, it switches into this create user page. If I cancel that, blimp, I switch back to the overview. So again, I don't redirect, I don't reroute. We can discuss if that's a good thing, but let's try and stay with this for now. So first of all, I've added a form here, and it's pretty much just using a plain ngIf. We're actually trying to create users. So the button down here is saying if we click the button, then we're creating a new user and setting that to true. And if I click the cancel button, then I'm setting it to false, meaning either show this or show this right now. So right now we're showing this as we start up, but as soon as I actually click the button, I show this guy instead. So what is the form? Well, I added on the form the unsubmit. We're going to use that, implement some functionality later. I added a card with some content, and the content is pretty much just, you can read it yourself. I add a table here from materials page. I figured this one out, where I add a table with some TDs inside it, and they then have input containers with a specific username and email. And then I have two buttons, the one for saving later and the one for deleting. Again, they don't do anything right now except that they go in and try to create new user, true and false. We're going to change that around later, but now it'll actually show like this, so we can get it to show and get it to hide again. That's kind of what the goal was for this lesson. So how do we use this component? Well, if we go into the users HTML page, user component HTML, we have the users list right here, and then we have the users component right here. Now notice, when I create this user component, I actually added an event so I can listen for users clicking the actual plus button or the cancel button. I mean that when I click this button right here, I actually send an event to this entire page saying hide the list of users, right? When I say remove it or cancel this, it actually says show the list of users and show the plus button again, okay? So how do we do that? Well, inside the component TS file for user create, we actually added output again, we added an emitter, and we said whenever we create new user, set it locally and also pass it on to whoever wants to listen from the outside. Now from the outside, we added this creating user event right here, where we pass in the event, and then we grab that information inside the TS file, and we just set creating user true or false inside the users component here. Meaning that now we can actually say, if we are actually right now we are creating a user, then hide the list of users by saying ngIf not creating user, show the list. But if we are actually creating the user, hide the list. That's all. That's how we actually can hide and show this module right now, or this new component that we built, just by doing this. Now there are pros and cons. If I refresh the page right now, I'm leaving the add user page, right? So there are pros and cons. If this was a /create up here, it would stay there when I refresh the page. It's up to you. We can also make it stay here even though we select it like I just did. But we'll figure this out later. I just wanted to show you this. I think it's rather cool. So see you in the next lesson, where we'll actually start adding some functionality so we can start really creating a user in Firebase. Have fun.